Ooh. Sorry about that, guys. It's about to get. We're gonna get spooky today. We're gonna get dark. I'm gonna wait for maybe some people to join. Five signs your computer needs specialized IT support. One, the fuck? What the fuck in the... Did I wait the mandatory 7 seconds? Frequent crashes, slowdowns, freezes. When your computer becomes sluggish, just restart it. Sometimes I think people get roped into stuff that they think they need to pay, and they do not. But Monero no good. Ooh, Monero based. Let's see if unfortunately Monero has a liquidity issue, I think, or because yeah, all these places are freezing the ability to buy. Well, I think Trading Ogre is officially gone, which really sucks. That was my favorite exchange. If I was going to use any exchange, that was my favorite to use. I don't really like exchanges. I'd rather just swap. Do a swap. Maybe Ravno. Maybe Havno is going to be the future, but I don't know. It does have a built-in updater, which is kind of nice. I think people are just afraid because it's not custodial, but I mean, Havno puts a lot of safeguards to prevent people from stealing from you. I think the seller puts a 100% of it, and then the buyer puts up 115% of it. So like you have to lock it up so that if you ditch them, they get 15% essentially. They get like 15% for wasting their time, and then you get, if the seller fucks you, you get a chunk of you get your money back. There's a lot of safeguards. What up, Jed? We're gonna be looking at spooky stuff, some opsec stuff, some projects. Never Quit Looking. Pretty much people have disappeared. I listened to a podcast earlier today, and it was talking about just missing people in the United States, and I'm like, and some of them, these cases are like of 2020, 2022. I mean, this is all public, so it's not like in modern Jed Cooper. Some of these people, it's like modern. It's like second. Some of this stuff is like modern America, and you're just sitting there thinking, like, how the fuck does that even happen? Like, with all the tracking we have, with all the, not even just the tracking we have, all the technology, and people just go missing without a trace. I mean, they've solved cases that are like 20 years old because of fucking DNA they found. Maybe they just wanted it to be disappeared. I don't think always. How would you... If you wanted to disappear, how would you get employment? How would you make money? And I don't think people realize how hard it is to live off the land. Like, actually how hard it is. It's a very difficult growing process. Even some of the best survival people die. Like some of it makes sense, like some of it doesn't. I believe Appalachia. Man, I'm early. You are early. I believe Appalachia is one of the places where people go disappearing the most. This is from 2016. TJ Kristen, I'm gonna fuck up that person's name. I'm not gonna even pretend to know what I'm doing. Is a 20-year-old from Melbourne vanished April 27th in 2016 after leaving home university. That's my real fear. I just leave in my car, and no one ever sees me again. Wow. It's worse when your car disappears. That's a very difficult thing to... Hmm. 20-year-old Tej left his family home, Bonneview Crescent Street in Burwood East, a quiet Melbourne suburb, and disappeared without a trace. Described by his parents as cheerful, friendly, and reliable, he had left that morning around 10 a.m. in a silver 2005 Volkswagen Golf hatchback. Really good fucking car, by the way. Minus the sad part, but... He had his phone, his keys, his wallet with him. Or just drive a manual, because this generation doesn't know how to fucking do it. That's a real lock liberal. You just gotta get your fucking... You gotta get your... a manual transmission. That's how you lock in. I mean, Australia, everything wants to murder you there, so... And told his parents he was going to meet some friends in central Melbourne. Planned to return by 4. You don't know how to drive a fucking manual? Learn. It's not that hard. He planned to return by 4 p.m., attended his father's 60th birthday party in the evening. He specifically asked his parents to wait for him so he could change before all they left altogether. And that was the last time they saw him. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. He typical routine. He was enrolled in Deakin University. Told his family he was attending classes at the nearby Burwood campus. Rather than drive all the way to campus, he often dropped his car off Blackburn railway station and took the train the rest of the way. The trip from his house to the station took about 10 minutes. In addition to his studies, worked part-time at an office works branch in Melbourne. He felt a fairly consistent schedule, was almost always home by 4 p.m., whether he had class or work. Wow. But just hours and a half he left home. I mean, in Australia, they probably have... Manuals are probably very common out there still. And being a 2005 fucking Volkswagen, it wouldn't fucking help anyone. I mean, a lot of countries, manual is just still very common. But just an hour and a half after he left home, his car was spotted in Healesville, a town east of Melbourne. CCTV footage captured a 2005 silver VW Golf on the highway around 11:30 a.m. The route is the most direct to Burwood East. A VW bug. It's always a classic. I don't know who would steal it, but that's an L. His phone pinged a nearby cell tower approximately 11:50 a.m. This is the last known signal from his mobile. After that, nothing. TG never showed up to the party. His parents grew increasingly anxious. Even evening wore on. It extremely out of character for him to disappear without notice, especially on such an important family occasion. When they couldn't reach him, they reported him missing. Since that day, there had been no confirmation signals or transactions to his bank account and no further activity. And so that's makes me uncomfortable. Also, despite the movies, you can immediately report someone missing. You do not have to wait 24 hours. The longer you wait, the worse it is. This is gonna just get sad right here. Okay. It's very interesting. Where the fuck do you live where you get these cars stolen at this rate? I don't know. Maybe I'm just socially unaware. To be honest. Okay. So no bank account. Another question is why the trip took longer than expected. The drive from Burwood east to location where the car was caught on camera literally takes about an hour. TJ's car was seen around 11:30, which is roughly 90 minutes after he left home. Was there traffic? Did he make a stop, or did something happen during that time that altered his course of his morning? In the days followed his disappearance, more puzzling details began to emerge. For one of TJ's close friend, Ted, I'm just calling him T. None of T's close friends came forward to say they had planned to meet him that day. This opened up several possibilities. Either one of his friends was lying, T lied about where he was meeting, or he was planning to see someone unknown to his family. Possibly a lady. Maybe he was trying to goon. Or maybe he was secretly gay. I mean, people do this all the time. They don't tell their parents everything. Or his friends could lie. Perhaps the most jarring discovery came weeks later. T had not been attending class at Deakin University for over 2 years. Oh. He was so ashamed he killed himself. That wouldn't, I mean, jokes aside, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, people that are like super culturally into school and just in general, you know, it can be Jover. Although he had graduated from Melbourne High School in 2012, he initially enrolled in Deakin and had quietly stopped attending sometime in 2014. Still, he had kept up his presence, telling family and friends that he was not only still enrolled, but planning to transfer to Monash University to study medicine. The time of his disappearance was especially significant. He had remained on track. He would have been expected to graduate that year. It seemed likely that the truth about his studies would soon come to light, and he presumed may have been weighing in on him. He just leaves. Instead of facing his family, he just leaves. He's like, God, he didn't even die. He's just like chilling. He's like, I can't. The embarrassment is so insane that he can't face it. I mean, that's. His mother later recalls that T had expressed some concern about his future, but it attributed to ordinary stress. Nothing in his behavior indicated the situation had become serious. It is still unclear how he spent the time that he was supposedly in school. His part-time job obviously would have not accounted for all his time, yet no evidence has emerged suggesting he's involved in drugs, gambling, or anything criminal activity. It also raises the question, was Halesville really such an unusual destination for him, or had he been going there before without anyone's knowledge? Oh. As the months passed, no new information. T's family and police continued to search. 30s just flies footage, community members. Okay. Very sad. Nice Volkswagen. But, like, how does a whole car go missing? That's what I want to know. His family was old school, strict about being someone important. That's not old school. I mean, that's just a culture. That's a culture thing. But it also depends on, like, how long you live in a country for. You just morph to your country's principles. Like, I work with a lot of boaters, and some of these people are like second, third gen immigrants, and they are fully American. They do not, they appease to like maybe like the religious tradition, and that's about it. They are fully embraced in the American ways. But yeah, oh, but some I've talked to some like ethnic people, and they're like, I fucking like, they hate it. Like they hate how their tradition, like some of them just hate it. Like I had a conversation with someone once, and they're like, I hate that my parents are like this. They're like, I'm American. Like I'm not nowhere near what I want to be. Like they want me to be. Like I'm not traditional in any way. And like I explained it, and I was like, that sucks. And he's like, I cannot wait till I don't have to deal with this anymore. I'm like, oh, that's sad. Oh, I think this is that famous guy, Stanley Cooper, who went missing from a plane. I mean, tradition can be somewhat of a negative thing sometimes. Like, I get the premise. Some people just, I get it. Man, apparently do not fucking, and the parents went to marry their, yeah, kind of, sometimes. It depends. It depends how long the parents have been here, too. I've seen parents very Americanized that are boaters, and they embrace, it just depends which generation you're talking about and how long they've lived in the country of origin. Like, I'm pretty sure if I fucking grew up in like, if I grew up in India, my culture would be completely different. My outlook would be different. Maybe, I don't know. It's an unknown. I think this is the guy that went missing from the plane. Stanley Cooper, age 27, was last seen leaving his home in Thora near... Okay, goddamn. Are you going to make a video on how you set up your phone? Yeah, I'm working on it. No worries. Okay. August 19th, 1959. Stanley Cooper, age 27, was last seen leaving his home in Thora near Belling, New South Wales, Australia. August 19th, 1959, where he was living with his father, who reportedly was driving a blue vehicle at the time. It is alleged that Stanley has confronted his mother prior to his disappearance, expressing his unhappiness and indicating his intention to leave Ontario despite extensive search and investigation of research defense. Reasons for his disappearance, whether voluntary or otherwise, remain unclear, with no definitive evidence confirmed of his whereabouts. I see your stuff sometimes 6 days out. What do you mean? Oh, like you see my videos like 6 days away? Oh, like my updates and shit? Yeah, I mean, notifications, brother. I try to post stuff like in the chat, but I don't know. No, put on the noties. The notifications. But don't worry, we're gonna definitely stream until October. Oh, interesting. I have asked polls before. I do wonder about the people that do go missing and they get found like decades later. The question I want to know is, I mean, this guy would be fucking, he was 27 in 1959. I can't do math. How old would you be today if you were 27, 1959? It's okay. It's on. He'd be 65. He'd be 65. I mean, still a lot to do. Oh, we can do that. People that went missing found. crazy. Found decades later. There we go. We'll look at that too. I don't know what the fuck I did. Whatever. I hate when I touch something on my fucking keyboard and it just changes the layout. Like, why are you even like that? Okay. Ooh, this one's gonna bother me. Whatever. It's gotta suck too when it's more. It's gotta suck more when it's modern. William Albert Day. William Billy Day. The victim vanished in 1970 while traveling abroad in Australia. His last known companion was Peter McCurry, who would later gain notoriety for attempting to bomb Qatar's airliner. What the fuck? This one's kind of crazy. Oh, these aren't. I can pick dates. That's why I don't drive stupid anymore on the road. Because of Australia. I mean, you shouldn't drive stupid in general, but... Why is it telling everyone I went live? Notify me is... I think notify me is on crack. It either works or it doesn't. That's why it's funny. You've been to Australia? Or you've just driven stupid? I just think don't drive stupid and you'll be solid. Oh, you've been to Sydney? Oh. Yeah, that sounds terrible. It's just so far. It's so far. I mean, it's not hard to figure out, but I found Australia is the farthest state, like the farthest place you can go from the U.S. It's like a 20... For a month? What the fuck? What'd you do there for a month? The victim vanished in 1970 while traveling abroad to Australia. His last known companion was Peter McCurry, who was later gained notoriety for attempting to bomb Qantas airline. Authorities believe that Mr. Day may have been one of the McCurry's victims. Please contact the police of your nearest embassy. That guy looks terrible. He looks like a... I know I'm saying this after learning this information, but he just looks like a bad person. He looks sweaty. You were single? Look, I've been single. I've never woken up and decided to go to Australia. William Billy Albert Day was a young British man who arrived in Australia in late 1968, embarking on what was meant to be a 2-year working holiday. He traveled the country with his close friend, possibly boyfriend, David Burt, and together they spent about 6 months exploring and working across the country. Those who knew Billy described him as quite kind and easygoing, someone who was simply looking to see the world and earn some money along the way. I was traveling the countries from 2008 to 2010. Oh. Midlife crisis in 2008 to 2010. Nice. After traveling through the North Territory, Bert and Day eventually parted ways. They broke up. Bert made his way to Sydney to visit a friend named Ivan J, where Billy continued traveling independently. The two would cross paths again in Sydney a few months later. During that time, Bert tried to help Billy get settled and sent him Ivan's address in Bondi Junction, hoping they would give him a place to stay. Billy later wrote to Bert, letting him know that he found work as a bus driver and was planning to travel up to the coast of Brisbane once his job wrapped up. Ooh. It was around this time in June 1970, Billy met Peter Macquarie, another British citizen. Though far more dangerous, Macquarie had a criminal history in England that included theft and weapons possessions, and had entered Australia under a false identity. I met a lot of Germans in Sydney. Yeah, makes sense. I would never go there. Lots of stabbings. And Australia just sounds like a shithole. No offense to Australians. I'm constantly coming across terrible things. I mean, it could be somewhat hyperbolic, but it's very cool though. But it's like Australia is gonna invoke this law that where we can backdoor encryption. Australia is gonna do this, and then like, by the way, Australia just discovered this giant mosquito that can eat your flesh, and you're like, I'm good, I'm not going there. It'd be cool, like for maybe like I would have to. I feel like if I spent that much time on a plane, also went to Germany and Australia. Oh, Austria. Austria's cool. I've been to Austria. I like it. I would go to, if I had a month, sure, like literally a month in like no responsibility, I would go to Australia. But Austria is much cooler, and you can own a firearm in Austria as well, which is very cool. And they have some pretty cool ranges out there apparently. Yeah, Austria. This is actually a meme. When I tell people like Austria, they're like, oh, I've never been to, they think it's Austria. They get it confused with Australia all the time because their names are very close. There's actually a cool metal band called the Austrian Death Machine, by the way. If you I don't know why I came across this band, but they're pretty good. I just remember I can't remember the name of the fucking album that I liked. I think that's it. And that one too. They're goofy. They're a goofy looking. They're very animated. They're a very animated metal band. Cool castles. Yeah, Austria's got some cool architecture. I like it. It was around this time in became possession. He had entered Australia first, named Peter Brown. Despite his background, Billy and Marquette quickly became acquaintances and then roommates. Stayed in the Millstat. Oh, nice. In July, on August 1970, Billy mailed what would be his final letter to his family. In it, he mentioned plans to travel to North Brisbane with Brown in a camper van. After that, later, Billy vanished. No further contact was ever received. Alarmed by silence, his family filed a missing person report with both New South Wales, Queensland police. Unfortunately, the investigation at the time went nowhere. Letters that had family written to Billy were eventually returned in a single envelope. These were handed over to the police, but frustratingly were later lost. Oh, Oktoberfest? Nice. Oktoberfest looks cool. It just sounds expensive. Like, because it's a tourist it just sounds like a tourist trap. Though, big titties and beer. Sounds like a great combination. lost with any possibility of events that may have contained. The mystery deepened almost a year later when on May 26, 1971, Macari, isn't I saying Macari? I'm just going to say Macari. Still using the name Peter Brown and his new partner Raymond Pointing, carried out one of the most audacious crimes in Australia aviation history. The two orchestrated bomb hoax on Qantas Flight 755, claiming that it was an explosive device on board a flight en route to Hong Kong. This is 1971, by the way. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't trust people, so... Because of shit. Like, I read this shit, and I'm like, I don't trust anyone. I can't be friends with anyone. People are like, back in my day, this stuff didn't happen. And then, like, you're like, bro, you had fucking Ted Bundy, like, skinning people, and John Wayne Gacy. What the fuck are you talking about? That's why I hate boomers. I hate talking to boomers, because they're literally, figuratively, the most annoying people. We could just Google what you're saying, bro. Someone was like, a couple months ago, someone was like commenting, they're like, back in my day, we used to carry guns to school, and there was no mass shootings. And then I looked up, I just whether like you think school zones should be free of guns or not is irrelevant, but I'm like, you're wrong. There was quite a frequent amount of mass shootings every year in America. Even in the 70s, the 60s, it didn't really fucking matter. Some of them were pretty gnarly. Okay, here. I was really innocent then. As you should be. The mystery deepened later. Okay, Austrian aviation history. Claiming that there's an explosive device on board a flight en route Hong Kong. As proved, Massari pointed to police to another real bomb hidden in a locker. Oh my god, I don't know if I can say that word. In exchange for revealing the inflamed bomb's location, he demanded $500K, fearing the passenger safeties, when paid him the ransom. Crazy! $550K. Let's see, what is $550K 1971 to in today's money? I love doing this. Woo! Nope. Oh. No. Come on, give me one more zero. I'm no boomer. I know, I'm saying in general. Oh shit, so 550,000 in today would be 4 million. Woo! Woo! So something that cost $500,000 in 1970 would cost you 4 million today. Ooh. I just think of like boomers that anytime I talk to them, they're like, back in my day, we could leave our doors unlocked. Yeah, okay. Back then, we could hit your neighbor. Like one time, some guy was like, back then, you used to be able to hit your neighbor's kids. If someone hit my kid, I would fucking, at any point in period in time, if I had a kid and someone hit them, I don't care if they're neighbor or not, I would end them. I would beat the shit out of them. You're an adult. I don't give a fuck. What if my kid fucked up? You tell me. And then they apologize and you move on. But anyone even dare thinks about touching, laying hands on something that I created, that would be the last time. They would be on this missing persons list immediately. I just don't understand boomers' obsession with like hitting kids and remembering a time when there was no violence. They're like the generation that needs to be eliminated. And Gen X too. Gen X sucks too. Maybe like 1 to 2% of Gen X is like not suck, but I don't know. They got some backward shit in the back of their head. Whew. Makari and went on the run and began spending the extorted money with a like I would drop someone if they even hit my cat. I couldn't imagine if it was a child. It was done using the name Billy. They were spending the extorted money with abandon buying property, luxury items, and flights. Much of this was done using the name Billy Day. This detail would later provide chilling significance. David Burt, Billy's old travel companion, happened to see media reports mentioning that Makari had purchased a Jaguar under the name Bill Day. Alarmed, Burt contacted the authorities and reported Day that was a real person, and the missing one that. But at the time, police dismissed the warnings, assuming Billy Day was just another alias invented by Makari. The connection of the missing man was ignored. Good night, man. Later, brother. Makari was eventually arrested in 1971, sentenced to 15 years in prison for Quintes. Go live tomorrow and I'll be up late. Okay, yeah. 15 years in prison, blackmail plot. He served 9 years and was deported to the UK in 1980. Oh yeah, of course. For decades, his connection to Billy Day's disappearance remained overlooked. It was until 1990s, more than 20 years later after Days vanished, the police finally reported the case and began asking questions about the alias Makari had used. When interviewed, Makari claimed that Day was fictional, like Brown. However, witness statements and interviews included from Day Burt provided Billy Day that had been real, and the last been seen with alive was with Makari just before his disappearance. Suspicion soon deepened. Makari also had been in the prime sex business suspect in 1967, murder of his brother George in England, a case that remained unsolved while there was not enough evidence to charge him in connection with either death. See. Wow. That is interesting. History.com. Nice. I mean, like, it's kind of cool when these things get solved out of nowhere. Oh. Dorothy Arnold, 1910. New York, New York City. 1,419 partners. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. People should just be immediately feel dystopian when they see that many partners. Okay, we're back. Dorothy Arnold, a wealthy socialite, vanished while walking to Manhattan despite extensive searches, including dredging rivers and investigating family connections. No trace of her was found. Theories range from accidental death to abduction or secret life. Family remains hopeful for years, but the truth remains elusive. I mean, this was back in 1910, so if they find her now, that'd be kind of cool, but also kind of, like, wow. Amelia Earhart. Somebody said that Amelia Earhart. This is kind of interesting. I forgot about the conspiracy about Amelia Earhart. It's kind of weird, but I didn't know it existed. Some say she was like, she didn't really like disappear. She actually like, they just forced her disappearance because she had like some secret technology. I don't fucking know. These people like always reach, to be honest. Ah, yes, Reader's Digest. Oh, yeah, she was like a spy. She was captured by the Japanese. That was the one. Another theory involving Japanese culture is that Earhart began being forced to spread Japanese propaganda over the radio. The English-speaking women who did so were collectively referring as Tokyo Rose, but Earhart's husband, George Plummer, ruled that after listening hours upon hours of recorded Tokyo Rose broadcasts and not recognizing his wife's voice, we may never know what really happened. In 1960s, again in 2015, in 2017, some began to theorize that Earhart crashed, landed in Marshall Lands, and was then captured by the Japanese military and died in a political prisoner in the island of Saipan. Some of these theories are based on photos supposedly depicting Earhart and Nonan and Noonan on a Japanese aircraft carrier. Some are based on metal fragments found on atoll in the Marshall Island that would be consistent with the metal used in the buildings in Earhart's plane. Interesting. I forgot where I came across that, but well, magic. Basic land, no. Good. Just need one more red. Wait, no, one more landing zone. Ooh, beautiful. Oh no, not that bird. Okay, buddy. Vigilance. I think I'm good. We should be good. Yeah, we're good. Hell yeah. Ooh, this is gonna be good. I don't know what deck this is. I think I picked the wrong one. Mm-mm. Doesn't matter. This is where people that rely completely on Mossborn Hydra kind of get fucked. It's like, if it's your only ace in the hole, it's like a good card, but if it's your only ace in the hole, it can kind of fuck you. Unless you carry more than one. Wow, he took the L. Interesting. Cool, victory. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow to read more spooky stuff. I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to